Savage 110 high country. It's got a Hawke Endurance 30 scope. This is my first time shooting with either of these items. This Hawke Endurance 30 is awesome. It is such high quality, not even the label can stay on. I'm loving this gun so far. It's easy to shoot. That is an aftermarket muzzle brake. I don't know what brand, but that thing made this such a slick shooting gun. I like the looks of it, but honestly, the thing I like the best is the smooth trigger and the smooth action. This is possibly my favorite gun currently to shoot that I own. I wish you guys could smell the delicious carrion. Anyway, I sighted that in so I could at least get the scope zeroed. I just used a box of 180 grain core locked. This is a 30-06. It's a pretty sweet gun. I'm really liking it. Everything is smooth. I actually love those rounds myself. If I was not a reloader, that's probably what I'd buy to shoot and hunt with all the time. This is just one of the most beautiful places you could possibly shoot. The dead carcasses, the burn piles, the trash. This is what gives rednecks such a great name. I'm now testing out my 180 grain Sierra Spire Point boat tails with H4350. I've got some Reloader 22 that I'm also testing and some 165 grain Sierra hollow point boat tails. I'd like to make a special shout out to this particular device. This has been making shooting a joy and a pleasure beyond any joy and pleasure I've ever experienced shooting my 30-06s. I loaded up the ammo, put them in Ziploc bags, and then I mark their grouping on the bag individually. Once I find my most accurate load, I will then run that load through a Crony and start experimenting with the overall length of the bullet. Right now I have all my rounds loaded to about 1/100th of a millimeter, whatever that equals, 0.01 millimeter off of the lands. The load data I'm using is just the published load data from Sierra and Hornady. I'm not going anything above and beyond what's published. I personally don't have a death wish. I've got both my fine helpers keeping me on target and on time today.
Hi.
Hey, let me see.
Well, I lucked out. One of my helpers helped me find the missing label. I don't mind the scope. It seems like it's holding zero well, but the one part I hate is the dot, the center dot on that reticle just is a little too large, I think, for precision shooting. So if there's any questions on the scope, here's the scope that I have. This makes me laugh. If you come back to right here, designed in the UK. That always makes me laugh when I see that. That usually means made in China, which is exactly where this one's made. Here is the reticle that this scope has. And as you can see, it has an illuminated dot. If you don't have the illumination on, it's just a black dot. But it's what I've got, and if now someone wants to donate a Leica, or I'd be happy to test out a Swarovski. Definitely send that over. Never complain with free, right? But I got a screaming deal on that scope, so I can't complain too much. So anyway, this particular rifle, it has the box magazine that's detachable. I've never had that on a bolt action before. So that holds, for the 30-06, that holds 4 rounds plus 1 in the barrel. So far, the groups seem pretty good. Every once in a while I have that outlier, which is probably more based on yours truly than the gun or the ammo. With all different powder combinations, it's all shooting as good as I could hope. I'm excited to see how the Reloader 22 works. Shoot. That one. It's gonna be a flyer. Got my munchkin running up the side of the hill. Got the sheepdog tracking down crickets. And I have my first shot with the Reloader 22. And I've got my last shot with the H4350. So right here was the last group of 5 with the H4350. And right there is the first group on my starting load with the Reloader 22. All right, so for this box magazine, it's pretty easy loading. Like I said, this will hold 4 rounds. So this is the 180 grain Sierra Spire Point that I've been shooting. 165 grain Sierra hollow point boat tail. This happens to be one of the ugliest bullets ever made, or the most beautiful. And I'm particular to saying this is one of the most beautiful bullets ever made. I know that's debatable, but beauty's in the eye of the beholder, and I clearly have bad eyes. I just wanted to see where they were shooting in relation with the 180s. The other bullet I have a few of, I tried these out. I just wanted to see where these round nose bullets from Hornady, where they fall into play in relation to the 165 grains and the 180 boat tail. All these have been loaded with either Reloader 22 or H4350. These are all loaded with Federal match grade primers. All right, now to load this in, I can't remember if I showed you this before, but you just pop that in, latch it in the back, push it all the way up in the back, then click on the front. Super easy. If you do it properly, you won't have a malfunction. If you don't do it properly, you will have a malfunction. Hey sheepdog, what's happening? Huh? So this is the big shocker. The Reloader 22 actually closed up its grouping quite nicely. I tried that highest power load, that's right here, and its grouping closed significantly. So this may have a little more merit than I was thinking. Down here are the Hornady 180 grain round nose 30 caliber bullets. So here is, down right here, my first go with the 165 grain Sierra boat tail hollow points. And then here is the Reloader 22 starting back down, I guess the next step from the bottom. Here we are at the end of a wonderful day. Got a chance to take out this Savage 110 high country. Long time. Those round nose bullets blew apart some crap. So a day like this is what I call aromatherapy day. A little bit of nitrocellulose burnt, a little bit of lead in the air. It is a great day. I'm going to take this back to the state and we'll figure out which one's shooting the best and which one we want to keep working on. And sheepdog's over there eating the dead crap and loving it. So he'll be throwing up all over the couch tonight, I'm sure. It's going to be a lovely day. On a side note, I want to bring your attention to this scrape right here. Now I'll be honest, I really could care less. It's a stinking gun. If it is spotless all the time, it means it's not getting used. But I've got these flip up caps that came on the scope, or came with the scope, and just that little tab is just enough where it scrapes along that. So I think what I'm going to do is just leave the one on the front, and I'll probably remove the one on the back just so I stop ramming the bolt handle on the side of the scope. Well, thanks for joining me.